Have you ever felt like your emotions are becoming a burden in your life? One moment, everything feels calm, steady, you're okay. And then, out of nowhere, it hits you. A wave of frustration, sadness, or a knot of anxiety that tightens in your chest. Maybe it's something small, a careless comment that hurts, a plan that falls down, or just one of those days where everything feels heavier than it should. Suddenly, your thoughts are racing, your heart feels like it's carrying the weight of the world, and it's as if your emotions have taken over completely. It's exhausting, isn't it? That feeling of being left behind, like you're just along for the ride. But what if in those messy, overwhelming moments, there's a chance to find something deeper, something stronger? What if, instead of being carried away by the storm, you could learn to dance in the rain? It's not about fixing everything or making the emotions go away. It's about realizing that you're not powerless. You're human. And being human means feeling deeply, messily, beautifully. So, what if you could hold those emotions gently, like a fragile gift, and let them show you the way forward? What might that feel like for you? Everyone has had those days where one little thing turns into something much bigger. Maybe there was a mistake at work, a disagreement with a friend, or just an unexpected moment of self-doubt. The mind starts creating stories. I'm not good enough. Things never work out for me. Why does this always happen? And just like that, one emotion turns into an entire downward spiral. But the fact is, emotions feel real, but that doesn't mean they're telling the truth. That frustration, that sadness, that anger, it's valid, but it's not always reality. Recognizing that difference is the first step in taking back control. The first thing to do when emotions hit hard is to pause. Not react, not suppress. Just pause. When emotions take over, the instinct is to respond immediately. Maybe it's snapping at someone, shutting down completely, or overanalyzing everything that just happened. But taking a deep breath, just for a moment, creates space. That space is everything. It separates emotion from reaction. And in that space, naming the emotion makes all the difference. What is this feeling? Is it anger? Is it disappointment? Is it fear? Just identifying it helps shift the brain from being overwhelmed to understanding what's actually happening, and understanding leads to control. Once the emotion is recognized, the next step is to challenge the thoughts behind it. Because most of the time, emotions aren't just about the situation, they're about the story being told around it. A mistake at work might lead to thoughts like, I'm terrible at this, or I'm going to lose my job. A friend canceling plans might turn into, they don't care about me. But are those thoughts actually true? Probably not. The brain has a way of exaggerating things, making problems feel bigger than they really are. Questioning those thoughts takes away their power. Instead of automatically believing, I failed, so I must not be good enough, what if the mindset shifted to, I made a mistake, and I can learn from it? That small change in perspective completely transforms the emotional response. You can't avoid negative emotions completely. That's not possible, and honestly, it's not the goal. The goal isn't to never feel angry, sad, frustrated, or disappointed. Those emotions are part of life. The goal is to understand them, manage them, and not let them control everything. There will still be tough days, frustrating moments, and times when things don't go as planned. But with the right tools, emotions don't have to dictate every action, every thought, or every decision. Emotional strength isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about learning how to navigate them. It's about recognizing when emotions are clouding judgment, knowing when to take a step back, and choosing how to respond instead of just reacting. It's about trusting that no matter what happens, there's always a way forward, and it takes practice. At first, it might feel impossible. The emotions might still feel overpowering. But over time, with each conscious effort to pause, to question, to shift perspective, emotional resilience starts to build. There's something really powerful about realizing that emotions don't have to be the enemy. They're just part of the human experience. They're signals, messages trying to communicate something important. Fear might be warning about a potential risk. Sadness might be showing that something needs attention. Anger might be signaling that a boundary has been crossed. Instead of fighting emotions, listening to them, understanding them, and then deciding the next step is what creates true emotional strength. And here's the most important part. Every moment is a chance to choose. Every time emotions rise up, there's an opportunity to take control instead of letting them take over. A deep breath instead of an automatic reaction. A shift in perspective instead of believing the worst. A moment of stillness instead of spiraling thoughts. Over time, those small choices add up, and eventually, emotions stop feeling like something that needs to be fought against and start feeling like something that can be worked with. As you continue on this journey of emotional mastery, it's important to recognize that progress isn't linear. Some days will feel like breakthroughs, while others might feel like setbacks, and that's okay. The key is to keep showing up, to keep practicing, and to keep reminding yourself that you have the power to choose how you respond to life's challenges. Think of your emotions as a compass, not a cage. They can guide you, but they don't have to trap you. When you feel anger, ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? When sadness arises, ask, what needs healing? When fear shows up, ask, what am I protecting myself from? By approaching your emotions with curiosity rather than judgment, you transform them from obstacles into opportunities for growth. Emotions are temporary, but your strength is enduring. Choose to rise above, and you'll find that you are far more powerful than you ever imagined. In the midst of emotional turmoil, it's easy to be hard on yourself. You might think, why can't I handle this better? Or, I should be stronger than this. But here's the truth. Being kind to yourself is one of the most powerful tools for emotional resilience. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same understanding and care that you would offer a friend. It's about acknowledging that you're human, that you're allowed to feel, and that you're doing the best you can. When you learn to manage your emotions, it doesn't just benefit you, it impacts everyone around you. Imagine being in a disagreement with a loved one. Instead of reacting with anger, you pause, take a deep breath, and respond with understanding. This shift can transform the entire dynamic of the relationship. Emotional control creates a ripple effect. It fosters healthier relationships, improves communication, and builds trust. It shows others that it's possible to navigate challenges with grace and strength. So, as you move forward, remember this. Emotions are a natural part of life, but they don't have to define you. With each step, whether it's pausing, practicing self-compassion, setting boundaries, or simply taking a deep breath, you're building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Life will always have its ups and downs, but with the right tools and mindset, you can face anything that comes your way. You are not at the mercy of your emotions. You are the one who holds the power to choose how you respond, how you grow, and how you thrive. The journey to emotional strength is not about perfection, it's about progress. As the sun sets on another day, take a moment to reflect. Think about the emotions you felt today, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Acknowledge them without judgment. Celebrate the moments when you paused, when you chose kindness over anger, when you found gratitude in the midst of chaos. And when you look ahead to tomorrow, know this. You are stronger than you think. You are capable of more than you realize. And no matter what challenges come your way, you have the tools, the strength, and the resilience to rise above. Emotions may come and go, but your strength is here to stay. Choose to embrace it, and you'll discover a life filled with peace, purpose, and power. So next time a wave of negative emotions hits, remember this. No feeling lasts forever. No emotion has to define the day. And no matter how overwhelming it feels in the moment, there is always a way forward. The mind is stronger than it thinks, and every small step toward emotional control is a step toward becoming mentally unshakable. Remember, what consumes your mind controls your life.